She never heard her mother's lullaby. She never heard the sound of rain on the roof. She never heard the laughter that followed her in school corridors. But what the world did not know was this: silence was not her weakness. Silence was her power. Her name was Amina. She was born on a calm morning when the sky was clear and bright. Her mother said she barely cried when she came into the world. She only opened her eyes wide, as if she was studying everything carefully. Months passed. Her parents noticed something strange. When doors slammed, Amina did not turn. When her mother called her name, she did not respond. When thunder struck loudly outside, she slept peacefully. At first, they told themselves she was just a quiet baby, but deep inside, fear began to grow. Doctors later confirmed what they were afraid to hear. Amina was deaf, completely deaf. Her mother cried that night. Her father sat in silence, staring at the wall. "What will her life be like?" he whispered. "The world can be unkind to those who are different." And they were right. As Amina grew older, she realized she was not like other children. In school, students talked around her, not to her. Some waved their hands in front of her face to test if she could hear. Some laughed when she tried to speak because her voice sounded different. She could not hear their words, but she could see their faces, and faces can speak louder than sound. Every time she saw them laugh, something inside her broke. She felt trapped behind invisible glass. She could see the world moving, but she could not fully enter it. At home, she often sat by the window, watching birds fly freely across the sky. She wondered what their songs sounded like. She wondered what her own voice truly sounded like. Sometimes she pressed her small hands against her ears, wishing for a miracle. But silence remained. School became harder as she grew. Teachers did not know how to help her properly. Lessons moved too fast. Words were written and erased quickly. She tried to read lips. She tried to guess. She tried to keep up. But many days she went home feeling defeated. One afternoon, after a particularly painful day at school, Amina locked herself in her room. Tears rolled down her cheeks. She felt alone, invisible, unheard. As her tears fell onto her notebook, she picked up a pencil. Without thinking, she began to draw. She drew a small girl standing in the middle of a storm. Dark clouds surrounded her. Heavy rain poured down. But above her head, there was a tiny crack in the clouds where light was breaking through. Amina stared at the drawing. For the first time that day, she felt calm. Drawing did not require sound. It did not require perfect speech. It did not laugh at her. It listened. The next day, she drew again, and the next. Soon, drawing became her language. When she felt angry, she drew fire. When she felt sad, she drew rain. When she felt hopeful, she drew sunrise. Her art teacher began to notice. There was something different about Amina's drawings. They were not just pictures, they were emotions. One day, he gently placed a hand on her shoulder and wrote on a piece of paper, "Your hands can say what your ears cannot hear." That sentence changed everything. For the first time, someone saw her ability instead of her disability. Amina began to practice seriously. While others talked endlessly after school, she stayed back and painted. While others complained about noise, she worked peacefully in silence. Her silence became her focus. Her focus became her strength. Years passed. Her skills grew stronger. Her confidence grew slowly, like a small plant pushing through hard soil. Then, one day, a national art competition was announced. The theme was Inner Strength. Amina knew exactly what she wanted to create. She painted a powerful image. A girl stood in the center of a storm. The world around her was chaotic and loud. People in the background had open mouths, shouting. But around the girl was a calm circle of light.
Her eyes were closed. Her face was peaceful. Above the painting, Amina wrote one title: Stronger Than Silence. When the competition results were announced, her school gathered in the hall. Students whispered, teachers waited. The principal opened the envelope. First place, Amina. For a moment there was silence in the hall. Then applause erupted. Amina walked to the stage slowly. She could not hear the clapping, but she saw it. She saw hands moving. She saw smiles. She saw respect. On stage, she signed her message while an interpreter spoke for her. I may not hear your voices, but I hear my dreams clearly, and that is enough. Many people in the audience wiped tears from their eyes. The same students who once laughed now looked at her with admiration. The girl who once felt invisible was now impossible to ignore. Her artwork began to travel beyond her town. People connected to her story, not because she was deaf, but because she was strong. Amina learned something powerful. The world may take away one ability, but it can never take away determination. It can never take away creativity. It can never take away courage. Silence did not limit her. It shaped her. It gave her focus when others were distracted. It gave her depth when others were noisy. It gave her strength when others were weak. And through her journey, she proved one truth: disability is not inability. Sometimes what looks like a limitation is actually a hidden gift. You do not need to hear the world to change it. You only need to believe in the voice inside you. And that voice is louder than any sound.